Hi there, my name's Nathan Ball and I'm here at Develop Brighton at the Day 2 Expo, and we're about to go and check out the Indie Showcase where I'm sure there are a wide range of interesting games. Okay, so to start off, what's your name and what game are you representing here at Develop?
So my name is Waterzooi, and I'm the solo developer of Please Touch the Outlook, a game based on real abstract paintings.
Nice, and where did the inspiration for this game come from then, Thomas?
So the inspiration from the game came from real art. I have a troublesome relation with art myself. What is art, what is good art, what is bad art, and I kind of wanted to go find out for myself. And one night when my girlfriend was sleeping, I decided to create a little Mondrian generator. So basically a little piece of software that spits out Mondrian paintings procedurally, random. And I added a little bit of a mechanic, and the first puzzle was born. And it's been a long journey since then. Yeah.
Awesome. So how are you planning to monetize your game then?
Monetization, yeah, that's a difficult point nowadays, especially in the world of mobile. I am a bit stubborn since it's still my first game. I decided to go premium, and I know the game is kind of niche and premium. It's not done as much anymore, but I'm still hoping to reach a bit of an older audience, I guess, because of the theme of the game as well, and that they're still willing to pay a little bit for a more quality game, I guess, something like that. Yeah.
I suppose difficult monetization and art are always linked, aren't they? So just a quick one to finish off. Have you ever heard of in-game advertising at all?
In-game advertising?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen it. I didn't want to do it at first. I like it when it's not in your face.
Yeah.
So I've seen one of my colleague developers do it in a good way, as in you get a hint, or to get a hint you have to watch an ad, watch a little movie. And I might reconsider in the future if the premium thing doesn't work out to introduce this kind of thing. But of course it requires kind of a puzzle gameplay where you need the hints to continue. But I don't like the games where they put it in the main, or it pops up every now and then after each level. That's not the thing I would go for.
Okay, well, thank you very much, and I hope it goes well at the event.
Thank you.
So we're here at Develop with Biome Collective. So can you guys introduce yourselves and tell us about the game you're bringing?
Yeah, thank you. So I'm Mal from Biome Collective, and I'm Adam, also from Biome Collective. Yeah, awesome. And so we're here with our project, The Maze.
Yep.
And The Maze is a GPS narrative game that can be played anywhere. Think Pokemon Go meets your favorite podcast. So you go out, enjoy the great outdoors, have a nice gander, and explore a kind of a rich narrative world filled with mystery, characters, and things to collect.
So you guys at Biome Collective, you've kind of definitely got kind of a reputation for kind of the more experimental side of things when it comes to games. So where did the inspiration for this project come about?
Yeah, you're right. I think we've set up Biome Collective to be experimental, and we've been working in this space for a while now, kind of looking at the intersection between technology, games, and we made a project about 8 years ago. It's in this kind of space in Dundee, but then earlier this year we started working with Adam. And actually Adam pitched that idea to us as some funders that was very much similar to what we've done a while ago. And it was basically The Maze, so very similar kind of narrative that can be played anywhere. What inspired you to start off with Adam?
I mean, I was really inspired by being stuck in lockdown. I was doing a lot of walks on my own, just walking around the streets and stuff, and I started thinking about, what if the streets contained ghosts and an alternate dimension and other characters and all this stuff, and that was really it was like, how can we really make that happen anywhere? So it's not just you build it for London or you build it for Dundee, but you procedurally generate that story world. And then I got teamed up with the best guys for it, basically. Because of their work on it and sort of evolving that to work anywhere. So that's how we ended up with the maze.
Awesome. So just one final question. Have you heard of in-gameplay advertising? And if so, what are your thoughts on it?
Have I heard of in-game?
In-gameplay advertising.
In-gameplay advertising. I mean, no, I haven't, to be honest.
Oh, okay. So the idea is, I'll just quickly go over it. It's like ads that are placed as like kind of objects in a game. So instead of being layered over the top, like banner ads or videos, they're like actual objects in your game, and you can tweak them, move them around, position them, that kind of thing.
Okay. I mean, that sounds like an interesting idea. It sounds kind of like the equivalent of like product placement.
Exactly.
In
Yeah,
films,
pretty
film
much.
and TV, which I think is always kind of interesting. And I guess like I guess there is like a history of it. I'm thinking of like Super Monkey Ball had like Dole bananas and stuff like that.
Definitely.
I haven't seen that much of it. I think I'd be much happier to play a game where it was embedded rather than overlaid on the top. And I think if it was like in keeping with the world, I think it could work quite well.
Okay, so we're here at Develop with Colm Larkin from Gambrinous. So what game have you brought today to the show?
So this is called Guild of Engineering Ultimate Edition. So Guild of Engineering Ultimate Edition is a remake, a remaster of our game Guild of Engineering from 2015. So we basically rebuilt it and like improved every aspect of the game. So the game itself is about like creating your own dungeons. It's kind of like a throwback to playing D&D as a kid and drawing out like maps on graph paper. So you lay out the dungeon for your hero, and they move themselves. And so you're kind of trying to lure them with treasure or like put down monsters you think you'll be able to beat to level up. It's got a lot of roguelike elements, and then when you're in battle, it's kind of like a deck builder, which is pretty popular now. But when we first released, it was like quite novel. So like we take a lot of like board game ideas and tabletop stuff and put them in digital games.
Awesome.
And it's coming out next month.
Great. So as you said, it came out originally in 2015, and this is the remastered version. Is it because of the kind of renewed interest in the deck builder genre that you chose now as the time to remaster it?
I mean, it seems like a good time, all right, but no, it's kind of coincidental. So we had a really nice relationship with our publisher, but it was for 5 years. So that ended last summer, and we were thinking, will we make a sequel? Well, what we do? So this was like a first step. We're like, okay, well, let's try and self-publish. Let's do something smaller. And we rebuilt the game in Unity to let us do a few things, like to more easily reach consoles. It's PC first next month, but like consoles soon after. And yeah, I mean, the timing is good. Like Guilded Engineering has kind of a bit of a fan base from 2015. And so we're doing a few nice things. So for example, we're going to give away Ultimate Edition to everyone who previously owned the game on Steam.
Nice.
So like kind of a massive giveaway for like our fans.
Yeah.
And we're really hoping to reach new people now and get some traction going. People who've never heard of the game before get to see Ultimate Edition for the first time.
Awesome. And just final question to wrap up. Have you been enjoying Develop so far?
Yeah, it's really good. This is my first time coming over. We're from Ireland. It's nice to finally get like an excuse to come over to Develop. I was always looking at it going, ooh, that looks like a really good conference. So it's brilliant to come over here, meeting loads of people. It's lovely to have been selected for the showcase here. It's brilliant to get to show the game in person again and watch people play and answer questions. So it's been really nice.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Thanks so much.
Okay. So we are here with Jens Isensee, probably butchered that, from Serious Bros. So what game have you brought to Develop today?
This is actually kind of a colonization game. So you're colonizing planets, sorry. You're kind of doing a global version of city building, civilization building, I would say. And then there's also economic strategy in it. So you're competing against other corporations on a global scale, trying to grow faster, making more profits. And then there's the climate crisis survival aspect of this game. So if everybody is only exploiting the planet, if everybody is only using fossil technologies, not doing sustainability research, we will have this planet destroyed in a matter of gameplay hours. So the whole ecosystem is going down. The polar caps will melt in this game. Yeah, catastrophes are arising more and more frequently. So the whole thing that makes it then a climate crisis survival thriller in the end. Yeah?
Awesome. So you mentioned the kind of climate change angle. Obviously, that's a big topic at the moment in the real world, everywhere. And was that kind of the inspiration for the game, or was it kind of an addition later on, and this was always the kind of game you'd wanted to make?
So actually, we were doing this in early access for 7 years before it came out now in May, and for Xbox in July. And this is an absurdly long time span to do a game.
Yeah.
For two guys, the reason is, of course, this global simulation stuff is too big for so few people. And the other thing was that we had how to say it in English, a heartfelt, idealistic idea about putting this major and final crisis of humanity into a game that is really motivating, that is competitive, that is interesting to do, and not moral or something. That is really like having your own world built up in deep space, doing your own decisions, and then feeling the consequences, making climate change in a way playable, and the climate crisis experienceable for players until the very end. So this is quite speculative also in the late game. So how the whole climate crisis will turn out. This is still an act of balancing all the ecosystem simulation in our game and so on, but we will see how it turns out. But as you asked, it's dealing with climate change was very much the inspiration. I think it's a unique selling point next to having these global civilizations on 3D planets as well. Huh?
Awesome. Just final question then. How are you enjoying Develop so far? Did you get a chance to see the conference yesterday, or are you going to any of the ones today at all?
Yeah, we at this indie showcase competition had a day yesterday to check out some talks and stuff. It was quite interesting so far, but I also had a hard time finding my European power supply adapter downtown and stuff, and then I learned that now, today and tomorrow, we will be hanging at the booth with no staff to replace me anytime. I'm looking forward to have lots of interesting talks about the game, showing it off, and maybe, I don't know what the price is actually here. Let's see.
to be revealed. Okay, well, thank you very much.
Yes, it was a pleasure.
Okay, we are here with, is it Sebastien Dubois, is that right?
Sebastien Dubois, yeah.
Excellent. And here at Develop. So what game have you brought to the Indie Showcase this year?
So I'm bringing No Plan B. It's a tactical planning game where you lead a team of highly trained agents in randomly generated missions. And the twist is you have to plan your war mission from start to finish before watching him execute the plan.
Awesome. So what are the kind of gameplay inspirations for this? What kind of games did you look to, or maybe movies, genres, etc.?
The main inspiration is obviously Door Kickers, which is a tactical game also, but much more action-based. And I really wanted to have a version where you can do all the planning stuff ahead and really have the good tools to do it properly and precisely.
Awesome. Final question. How are you enjoying Develop Conference this year so far?
It's pretty nice. It's the second time I come here, and the vibe is still the same, very welcoming to testers, and yeah, very welcoming to indie games also. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Okay, we're here with Studio Sterneck. Can you tell us a bit about who you are first of all, and what game you've brought today?
Well, I'm Alyssa, and we're here together with Get Together. It's a 2D co-op puzzle adventure game. And I'm here with
Moritz, and I'm one of the programmers. Alyssa, you're doing art, right?
Yes, I'm an artist.
And yeah, it's a co-op adventure, and it's played always on 2 devices, and it's really about communication, right? So game is like solving the puzzles, and you have to explain what you see to your partner, and then he explains it back, and then you somehow get the stuff, you know, the hints about the puzzles, and you solve the puzzles together.
Awesome. I do love a good game title where, you know, the title kind of is almost like the instructions for playing the game, you know, get together to solve the puzzles. And what were your kind of inspirations behind this game?
Well, visually we were interested in things such as Ori and the Blind Forest, like definitely something a bit painterly and stylized. Since we're going 2D, it's quite a good option for that.
Awesome.
And otherwise, gameplay?
Yeah, for gameplay, there's like the main inspiration for us was TikTok: A Tale for Two, which features similar approach to the whole asynchronous puzzle gameplay. And there was, of course, We Were Here, like all these co-op games which you get infuriating solving those puzzles. It's obviously always nice.
Totally. So is it? Would you say it was more of a puzzle game than a platformer then, or is it kind of more of a mix of the two?
It's definitely more puzzle game. We try to keep the platforming as low as possible to let people really concentrate on the puzzling. You know, when it's a hassle to platform, you don't really think about the puzzles. It can be a little bit distracting. So more puzzle than platforming, definitely.
Awesome. Well, final question. How are you guys enjoying develop? Have you been to many of the talks? How's the expo been for you?
It's been really nice. It's very invigorating to meet people again in person and inspiring to listen to talks. Like I'm picking up the art talk, so it's really cool. I'm really enjoying myself and looking forward to tomorrow.
Nice.
Obviously, this is for us. It's the first convention since the pandemic, so it's cool. Cool to be back. Yeah.
Right. Awesome. Thank you very much. We're here with Mads from Mads and Friends at the Indie Showcase. So what game have you brought along today?
I brought the Forest Quartet that you see right here. It's my, what can you say, love child. First big production that I'm doing. And it's a game about a jazz band that lives in a forest because that's where they find their inspiration and health. And when the game starts, it's kind of after the lead singer has died. So the band is kind of breaking up, but they have this concert that they have to perform. They have to make a farewell concert to say goodbye to the singer. But they don't have like the what you say, the inspiration and the mental health to achieve it. And so you have to play as the spirit of Nina, the singer, and go into the forest in spirit form and revive this, like restore the inspiration and the health of the band. And it's happening in this kind of metaphysical way with old machines that are broken down that you have to fix to kind of turn on energetic forces, and you have lots of negative forces in the game. Like you have a forest which is a depression forest that you have to make green again, and a dark forest which is kind of like a cave where you have to turn on lights, and a final forest which is like a lava fire forest where you have to get water onto it, and all these like elements represent somehow the inner demons of the band members. So the pianist is depressed, the bassist has anxiety, and the drummer is angry. And so as you get those what you get mental things down, you get them to feel like playing again and coming together. So yeah, that's the quick overview.
Nice. So cool. I do quite like the idea you're talking about. You know, exploring issues of mental health, that kind of thing, because it's stuff that I think totally needs to be explored more in games. I mean, some games have done it. You know, Psychonauts 2 came out recently. That's a series that's done it before. What were your kind of inspirations behind exploring those themes in your game?
I guess it's probably personal, like personal. You know, I think it's not like I'm struggling with a lot of mental illness, but I definitely, you know, I understand depression, I understand anxiety, and I understand anger. It's like I think we all had those feelings more or less, you know. I think depression can also just be maybe a lack of motivation, a lack of energy, and like I think I've been through all of that, definitely. And so I think I felt like, you know, perhaps it was easier to connect the game to a mental illness than connected to, let's say, find the music, you know. It somehow feels more powerful, and it's also easier to work with thematically, you know. So it's not like I didn't say, okay, my motivation is to make a game about mental illness. It was more like kind of thinking, okay, how do I easily communicate the story, and how do I incorporate this, you know, yeah, how can I make a strong world that has a meaning and it's not just a forest with some music, you know. And I think that is really an anchor to have these different. So I'm using them to actually help me more than I'm using them to be like, oh, life is depressing and I'm gonna make a game about it, you know.
Yeah.
It's not so much that really.
Okay. Awesome. So just final question then. How have you been enjoying develop so far?
Really well. We came relatively late yesterday just to set up, and you know, we've never been here before, so it's really, you know, yesterday was like more settling day, and today it's really great that there's so much going on, and both me and Klaus, who's here with me, I'm very like, yeah, impressed at the turn up basically, and yeah, it's very vibrant, it's very nice, and yeah, what else? I'm looking forward for lunch.
Awesome, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
So yeah, I've just finished looking at the indie showcase for develop for this year, and as you'd expect from the indie world, there's a whole heap of innovative, exciting titles, exploring ground that you just don't see in the AAA world. A really diverse set of developers as well, coming from international places. Just a really great selection. It'll be cool to see who comes out on top in the competition.